Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Meet Me for Coffee. I am your host, holistic shamedium and subtle energy surgeon, Tanya D. And today's featured guest is Jonianne from Jonni On the Spot and co-founder of the Spirit Collective. So I met Jonianne through the Cindy Dale apprenticeship program a couple of years ago, I believe. And as an intuitive, you see, we all have gifts, not necessarily in the same order, but yes, we do all have them. So, with that said, let's get Jonianne on the show here.
Good morning.
Okay, so Joni, tell me, how long have you been involved in the healing arts?
Oh, my whole life. I wasn't conscious of it when I was little. I was only conscious of startling people because, I guess information, one of my gifts is clear knowing, clear cognizance, and one of my things that I had to work on apparently was my throat chakra and knowing when to be quiet versus to be vocal. And because as a little kid, I really didn't know the difference, and I wasn't lucky enough to have somebody guide me. So the way that I kind of learned backwards. By startling people and then having them kind of feel, how people can be mad with their anger. Not mad with their anger, but mad with their embarrassment. And so I experienced a lot of blame, shame, guilt when I was younger. And so anyway, to answer your question, my whole life. Yeah.
Oh, here I am. Okay, cool. So, Jonianne, is this how you make your living? And if so, is this part of what you do for a living?
Okay. Yes, absolutely is a part of my living. I tried going traditional routes. I tried going in. I did that very well, probably because of my intuition, but I got to a point where it didn't satisfy my need to connect with people, and I was space invasive, the way I know things, sense things. So, I go in saying, hey, how are you? And I really mean it because I can tell if wow or day. Anyway, I eventually, out of supporting my loved one, my sister, who had taken courses in bodywork and massage, to support her, I encouraged her to go back to trying, and went with her and was very inspired to consider the style of healing arts. And that was just a game changer for me because it really allowed me, it allowed others to know where I was really through touch. It took it up another notch of trust. Interestingly enough. And so, I've been practicing since 1997 and was inspired by Cindy Dale's work early on. And her book fell off the shelf at the bookstore onto my feet. And when I looked at it, I was just kind of like, well, if that page opens up to a self-help quiz, I'll definitely get the book. And it did. It opened right up to that page. And I just stand in awe of that magic. If you think about whether or not Cindy actually imbued each book with finding the right audience, which when you do Cindy's work, you could probably guarantee that she did do that. And so it was just an amazing thing. I had always been drawn to working with the chakras and also working with aromatherapy and working with energy. And then the coursework that I started with was acupressure at the time, so the meridian energy lines, as well as something called orthobionomy, which is a very quietly taught style of massage that has everything to do with being in flow. And so my attuning work got more attuned through these approaches. And then I was blessed enough in 2018 to actually apprentice with her and got to meet you, which was so phenomenal. because meeting you was like coming home. And so I forgot the question.
Okay, you're fine. That's hilarious. Okay, so with all that said, I want to hear just one of your greatest gifts to this world.
One of my greatest gifts is I'm so excited to share that through joy, I have this ability to help people relate to each other in a more loving way. And it's through also relating to yourself. And when I say joy, it's like super exciting, because it's like the best way I can equate it is to tell you, like, if you like roller coasters, getting in line and getting on the ride, that anticipation of the experience, it is just the most amazing thing to witness unfold for a person when their whole perception on their personal lives, in which they may have been less full of light, completely shifts, and the love starts to expand. To be able to witness that is the best gift that I could ever, I think, give back to the world.
Oh, okay, so with all that, what is your absolute favorite thing to do? And is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Okay, so my most favorite thing in the whole wide world to do is to expand my awareness even further, whether that's through studying or through working with others or through meditation. Yeah, that's how got to be my top favorite thing, is just cruising through all the different ways that you can be. Yeah, and another thing I wanted to tell you was I'm fortunate enough to have you on the Spirit Collective online, the Spirit Collective, and because that was born from Source wanting more healing to take place, and with a twist. And that was typically you would witness for those who seek group healing, or want to be in a collective of like-hearted individuals for their personal benefits. The Spirit Collective online, the online distance healing company, where that really came into play was because I kept asking my resources, my divine resources, how can I do more of what I do with more folks, so that more people can experience this, not just the one-on-one situations where we're on the table, even though you and I both know when you touch one person, you are touching a whole group of people. But I'm excited to tell you that we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary as the online distance healing company, and that I've had the pleasure of working side by side with you on behalf of clients as well as ourselves. And that is just a dream come true. And so that was it. That was the only other thing. I lied. There's something else I'm doing to facilitate healing, and that's something called I'm mentoring under a lady named Amy Gillespie, who has a company called Eurogenics. And her healing approach is to take photographs of your eyes, and in the eyes there are tons of information about you in terms of energy medicine, as well as your ancestors. And so what's so near and dear to me on that is just witnessing the reconnecting that people can experience, and then the shift in their insight as to areas in their life in which they want to see more clarity, to have that handed to them in a way like, check this out, your family line throughout the centuries has experienced, like in my particular case, persecution due to being an intuitive. And so it actually goes back many centuries in my family line on both sides. And so that actually shows up in different patterns and images. I was just real quick last month sharing with my mom my images on my eye, and she just went to town. There were so many things that she witnessed. She saw her mom, she saw her dad, she saw her uncle, she saw the ranch that they grew up on, the stove, the outdoor stove that they used to cook with on the island, and even images of temples in Japan, which was fascinating in its connection to me because that's where she was on weekend with my dad when they got pregnant with me. I've never been there. So to have those images show up in my eye are pretty amazing. So anyway, so those are the three, and Spirit loves to work with me in threes. So the massage is one venue. The Spirit Collective is my favorite venue. And then the Eugenics, which I'm in training to become. So for me, it's ancestral insights. And so, yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing.
So I was going to ask you about the Spirit Collective. So that's amazing. You already read my mind. And so how can someone actually better find you? Like, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
So, yeah, that's a good question. I've been using all the normal avenues, and that, but the one that seems to work the most is my our business card. Handing our business card to existing clients, handing the business card when they speak of their loved ones, especially if their loved ones don't live in town with them, and then connecting. And then, of course, once you've had the experience, the word of mouth is pretty powerful too. What we've witnessed is loved ones wanting other loved ones to receive the experience, or their best friends to receive the experience. So we really have been using word of mouth. You can also find us on Instagram under Spirit. Is it Spirit-Collective or Spirit_Collective? I'm not very good at Instagram, but we are on there. Plus our website, which is www.spirit. I think it's -collective.com. This year, you're also going to be able to find us on YouTube, because each of us are coming together. We're going to come together on a more of a teaching format to share knowledge of the different experiences, different pathways that we each individually used as practitioners. So you'll get to witness. I've got a company with me right now. I can tell. I get this tickle in my hair when my auntie comes in, and so that was interesting. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. My auntie's like, "Yes, talk about the Spirit Collective." So yes, those are the avenues that we're pursuing right now. So look for us on YouTube under Spirit Collective Healers, I believe, because we're going live with that this year, 2020. Oh, I wanted to talk to you about 2020, if we could. Just that it's the year of support, 2020 coming. I knew you'd like this one. Like 2020 is a 4, and so squaring up our root support system and Spirit's desire to see generational healing. And so again, coming back into that root, I'm just so excited to be here and working with you.
Okay, is there anything else you want to share with us, Jonianne?
Well, we got 20 more minutes before I have to be somewhere else. I'm just kidding. I was like, don't I have the longest winded answers? Do you even remember where to find us, like, after that?
I sure do. That's awesome. Okay, well, thanks for joining me for today's Meet Me for Coffee. Once again, I am your host, Tanya D., holistic shamedium and subtle energy surgeon. I will see you next week, and you can find any of Jonianne, our featured guests, all of her info on the end notes in the show. Ashe, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.